YONKHEER, first 10 pages by Wendy Jane Henson. Exterior, countryside day. Summer, 1662, sunrise. Storm clouds boil above the Dutch colony of New Netherland. Just outside the village of Vlissingen, there's a farm. Behind the barn, a horse in full tack waits among the trees. Exterior, farmhouse day. The second story boasts a shuttered window beside a trellis. There's a rumble of thunder. Then bedclothes rustle, and sleepy voices murmur.
Greta. What's that noise?
Could be thunder. Or else my husband.
Your husband? You said he's in New Amsterdam.
Sometimes he comes back early.
There's a scramble and a rush. The shutters fly open. Jan van Emberg, a young, robust, semi-dressed Dutchman, flings his riding boots out the window. Then, using the trellis for a ladder, he follows his boots to the ground. Another rumble of thunder, this time louder. Greta, a pretty matron wearing only her shift, appears at the window and surveys the sky.
Jan van Amberg! It's a passing storm. We're in no danger.
He's halfway down the trellis.
Let's make sure, shall we?
She laughs, blowing him a kiss, but inside the house, a door slams.
Greta, I'm home.
As if someone slapped her backside, she looks over her shoulder. Hitting the ground, Jan grabs his boots and runs like hell. Exterior, barn, day. Reaching his horse, Jan halts to pull on his boots. There's more thunder. Raindrops splatter him. Glaring at the sky, he mutters something incomprehensible but undoubtedly obscene. In the background, a man with a musket appears. Leaping to his feet, Jan flings himself onto his horse. Blam! The musket muzzle belches fire and smoke. Keeping low in the saddle, Jan gallops off. Exterior, tavern, day. Rain drums a bend in the road. A field with hay and windrow and a barn. Across the road is a building with a covered porch. The sign above the steps says Van Jensen's Tavern. Lithe, lovely Hilda Van Jensen emerges from the tavern. She carries an empty milk bucket. Pausing, she lifts the shawl around her shoulders so it covers her head. Rain streaming into his eyes, Jan races towards the tavern. Hilda goes down to the porch steps and heads for the barn. At the road, she hears a galloping horse and halts. Craning her neck, suddenly Jan's horse cuts through the veil of rain. A wave of muddy spray hits Hilda.
Oh! Barbarian!
Jan reins in, gasping with horror.
I'm sorry, Uro. I didn't see you.
You might have if you slowed down.
I apologize. I meant no harm.
Ruth Van Jensen, a Rubenesque dowager, appears on the porch. She too carries a musket.
Hildy! What happened? Why do you shout?
It's nothing, Mother. Just some idiot on a horse.
Lifting her soggy shawl, revealing her pretty face, she stumbles back to the tavern, her wet clothes clinging. Jan's libido kicks in. Unabashed, he leers, but his rapt expression brings a scowl from her.
Well, what are you staring at?
Grabbing Ruth's musket, Hilda levels the weapon at Jan. His eyes fly open. Pivoting his horse, he gallops off. Exterior, patronage, day. Breaking through the clouds, sunlight shimmers on a placid river. Jan crosses a wooden bridge towards a watermill, a square stone farmhouse, and a cluster of outbuildings. Interior, parlor, day. Patron Cornelis van Emberg, a middle-aged, robust, fully dressed Dutchman, sits at his desk. Unlike his brash son, he presents an image of dignified authority, a man likely to stand his ground even when facing a musket. Opening a ledger, Cornelis jabs a quill into his inkwell and scribbles the date, June 10th, 1662. He pauses. A portrait of a fair, buxom woman hangs above his desk. He gazes at it. Authority evaporates. Tenderness lights his face.
June 10th, Mariah. 15 years ago today, we left Holland. You, me, and 2 seasick children. Sweet heaven, the storms we met. You said, Cornelis, you're trying to kill us. Ah, love, it's not the same since you've been gone. I long to take my ease. I enjoy some peaceful years in this life before I join you in the next.
Hearing the clip-clop of a trotting horse, Cornelis turns to the window. He sees Jan passing by and grumbles.
Providence, it seems, has other things in mind.
Exterior stable yard, day. Jan dismounts. Spying a raised roof, he bends to check it. Arnott, a groom, meets him.
Good day, YONKHEER.
Good day, Arnott. My mare's thrown a shoe. Will you take me to Bartholomews?
Indeed, straight away.
Jan starts up the path to the house. On the way, he meets stalwart Agnes Strunk, the Van Emberg's housekeeper.
YONKHEER? A word?
Yes, Agnes. What's wrong?
Wendy Quackenbosch, or rather, her cat. Moretta Peterson lost 9 chickens.
I'm sorry.
So is Moretta. She can't afford to replace them.
Give Moretta 9 hens from our flock. Later I'll speak to Whitney.
Exterior back porch day. The lion, waiting to pounce. Cornelis watches Jan's trek from the stables. Jan climbs the porch steps.
Father, at this time of day I thought you'd be in the parlor.
And you could avoid me by sneaking through the kitchen.
A general inspecting his troops. The patron duly notes Jan's clothes are disheveled, his shirt is open to the waist, and beard and boots he's speckled with mud.
Carousing all night. Again.
Father, not now.
Interior kitchen day. Jan strides in. Cornelis dogs his tracks.
You think I don't know what you're about. But I was your age once. Believe me, the things young men do are better done when you've a good solid marriage to fall back on.
At a sideboard, tipping a pitcher of water into a basin, Jan washes his face and hands.
You're a patron's son. You must take your position seriously.
Yes, Father, I know.
Above all, it's high time you got married again.
Yes, Father, I know.
What?
Finding a sausage and a knife, Jan brings them to the table.
Oh, the bachelor life has been grand, especially after Sarah.
Jan, be charitable. She died giving you a child.
The one good thing she did for me.
Died?
No, Lord, no. Gave birth to Rachel. Glad as I was to be free of Sarah, I never wished her dead, and I do want to remarry.
Indeed? What brought on this change of heart?
Finding a loaf of bread and a hunk of cheese, Jan shrugs.
I hate to get out of bed in the middle of the night and go home.
Not the purest of motives, Jan.
No, Father. For your sake, my answer should be total in guilders.
There's nothing wrong with finding a wife and tending your fortune as well.
The Gospel according to Cornelis.
A wise man listens to his father.
The last time I listened to you, I got Sarah.
Jan's bread and cheese land on the table with a thud.
This time, I choose for myself.
Jan plops onto a stool. Stymied, Cornelis goes to a keg of beer, fills 2 tankards, and changes his tune.
Jan, I cherish you.
And I cherish you. For all of that, when you depart this life, Frederick inherits everything.
Frederick is firstborn, and he can be a decent fellow.
Really? When?
Cornelis opens his mouth. Jan cuts him short.
Here's a thought. Why not find a bride for Frederick?
His father's nose twitches. Jan grins.
Because any female desperate enough to marry Frederick will be after your money, hey, Father?
Cornelis glares, juggling his emotions.
Frederick's mean and surly when he's drunk, which is most of the time. Our tenants scarcely dare breathe near him.
Nonsense. Frederick's flaws are legion, but he is firstborn.
Mockingly, Jan finishes the familiar phrase for him.
And primogeniture is the law.
Jan's knife saws off a slice of sausage as if Frederick's neck were under the blade. Bringing their tankards, Cornelis slouches into a neighboring stool.
I feel like I'm in a canoe. I paddle in one direction, while you paddle in the other, and Frederick hangs over the bow, puking his guts out.
Jan's teeth hover over the sausage, but his father's metaphor stops him mid-bite.
True, we are far from poor, but our new barn cost dearly, plus the horses you bought. And I told Bartholomew we will help set a dowry for Magdalene.
Magdalene? A dowry?
She's 16.
Good Lord, yesterday she was a tyke who chased fireflies and pestered me for taking her fishing.
Stymied, Jan takes a gulp from his tankard, then he sighs.
On my way home this morning, 2 people pointed guns at me.
Before breakfast.
I can't do it anymore, Father. So wild oats and shinny down the trails.
Praise God.
Jan opens his mouth. Cornelis raises a hand for silence.
You'll survive, and if we find someone who is well dowered...
All right. Which someone do you have in mind?
The patron's eyes search to the ceiling, as if a fair damsel's image will shine down from heaven.
Well, there's Anna Wallace.
Anna Wallace? She's a child.
She's marriageable age.
And a virgin, no doubt. I went through that with Sarah. By heaven, I swear, never again will I marry a virgin.
Then what kind of woman do you want?
Jan pauses, a faraway look in his eyes.
I hope she's handsome. But more important, good-natured. Clever, but not sly. Spirited, but not high-handed. Gracious enough to greet a king, yet willing to enjoy a frolic between the sheets.
Huh.
Of course, she must be a good mother for Rachel. She must cook and clean and run a household.
So, You want the perfect woman.
Perfect for me. If her family is rich, she'll be perfect for you too, eh, Father?
Never mind. I'll find someone.
No, you won't. I will.
Part of Cornelis wants to smack Jan, but this flash of metal and dash of resolve stays in the patron's hand.
A Van Amberg, traipsing about, seeking a bride. It's boorish.
Like dumping a tankard of beer on a lady's gown.
I took a step in the wrong direction.
You have a penchant for that.
Anyway, your mother forgave me. Ours was a love match. God knows I wish that kind of joy. But what of our family, our dignity?
I was born last, not first. If it's dignity you crave, you must focus on Frederick.
Again, Cornelis glares. Again, Jan laughs. Exterior garden, day. Clean and clad in fresh clothes, Jan heads for the stables.
Can't catch me, Rachel.
I can too.
Magdalene Strunk, a nubile lass, ducks under the honeysuckle bower. 5-year-old Rachel pops into view, a sweet jack-in-the-box with dancing curls. The child spies Jan and catapults herself into his arms.
Papa!
Hello, little one. How are you?
I'm growing like a weed.
So I see.
Good day, YONKHEER.
Good day, Magdalene. How is she?
Full of energy, mischief, and noise.
Excellent.
He hugs Rachel and then returns his attention to Magdalene.
So, young Mr. Strunk, I hear we'll help set your dowry.
Yes, your father is very kind.
Soon the young men will swarm.
A few have come courting, none that I fancy. Mother says when the right one appears, I'll know.
I'm sure I will too.
Oh?
I plan to remarry.
Indeed?
I need a wife.
Her cheeks dimple.
Like a bear needs baiting.
Jan takes up the game.
Ah, Magdalene, sweet as you are, perhaps we should wed.
Oh no, YONKHEER. I would not have you.
Magdalene.
You want more housebreaking than I have a mind to give any man.
Jan gives a hearty laugh. Magdalene joins him. Then Rachel tugs at his sleeve.
Papa, a ride, please, a ride?
Grinning, he hoists her up onto his shoulders.